What kind of engineering feat can withstand the test of time, weather, and relentless traffic while also becoming a symbol of progress and unity? Enter the Gordie Howe International Bridge, a $6.4 billion marvel that has captured the attention of engineers, architects, and travelers alike. But what makes this bridge so extraordinary, and why is it being hailed as one of the most impressive accomplishments in modern infrastructure? Stick around to find out. But before we delve deeper into the topic, do give us a like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. If you're done with that, then let's get started. The Gordie Howe International Bridge stands as one of North America's most awe-inspiring megaprojects. Stretching across the Detroit River with a record-breaking span, this bridge is a remarkable sight. But it's more than just a series of impressive statistics. It's revolutionizing how people travel, trade, and connect. Before the Ambassador Bridge connected Windsor, Ontario, and Detroit, Michigan, crossing the Detroit River was no easy feat. The river is wide and deep, which is great for ships, but not for people trying to get across. In the early days, travelers relied on ferries to transport trains over the river. Once on the other side, they'd board another train to continue their journey. This changed dramatically in 1929 with the completion of the Ambassador Bridge. Just as cars were becoming the popular mode of transportation, this bridge made movement easier, especially for trade between Canada and the US. Today, over 10,000 vehicles cross the Ambassador Bridge each weekday, transporting about $400 million worth of goods daily. It's a critical route, particularly for industries like automotive manufacturing, where parts need to flow freely between Michigan and Ontario. However, the bridge is now overwhelmed with traffic, handling around 9 million vehicles annually. In 2022, blockades disrupted the flow of trucks, creating chaos and raising questions about the over-reliance on a single bridge. Adding another twist to this story is the owner of the Ambassador Bridge, Manuel "Matty" Marone, who wasn't thrilled about competition when plans for the Gordie Howe Bridge were announced. Marone even filed lawsuits against the government to prevent the new bridge from being built, suggesting that he add another span to his bridge instead. Critics argue this was motivated by a desire to maintain profits from his tax-free gas sales. However, Marone's idea wasn't ideal. Adding another span to the existing bridge could pose security risks and create logistical problems, especially if nearby roads need to be closed. With over $1 billion in goods crossing daily, businesses need more reliable options. Despite the controversies, the Gordie Howe Bridge project forged ahead. First proposed in the early 2000s, it faced significant opposition from Marone. In response, the Canadian government established the Windsor-Detroit Bridge Authority in 2012 to manage the construction. Environmental approvals were secured in both the US and Canada. Legal challenges from Marone, who claimed exclusive rights to the Ambassador Bridge, were dismissed by the courts, allowing the project to proceed. Designed by Chief Architect Eric Behrens from AECOM, the bridge will feature two iconic A-shaped towers standing 722 feet tall, supported by 26 cable stays. It will boast the longest main span of any cable-stayed bridge in North America, stretching 2,800 feet, with a total length of 2.5 kilometers. Rising 151 feet above the water at its highest point, the bridge will accommodate 6 lanes of automotive traffic, as well as a dedicated pedestrian and cycling path. On the Canadian side, the bridge will connect to an extension of Highway 401, known locally as the Right Honorable Herb Gray Parkway. This below-grade parkway has 6 lanes, running from a new interchange to the EC Row Expressway, and includes 300 acres of green space and over 20 kilometers of recreational trails. The construction of this parkway, completed in 2015 at a cost of $1 billion, faced challenges, including concerns about its impact on the last known habitat of Butler's garter snakes in Ontario. Biologists worked to relocate the snakes and other species, and special fencing was installed to protect their new habitats. In the US, the bridge will connect to Interstate 75 with dedicated ramps. About 3 kilometers of the highway will be reconstructed and widened, and new pedestrian bridges and noise walls will be installed to minimize disruptions to the southwest Detroit neighborhood. The bridge's multi-use path will serve as the first legal pedestrian crossing over the Detroit River, linking local streets and trails on both sides and becoming part of the Trans-Canada Trail. With border traffic expected to surge from 18,500 vehicles daily in 2016 to 26,500 by 2025, the Gordie Howe International Bridge will facilitate a smooth and efficient flow of people and goods between the US and Canada. To manage costs, Transport Canada has enlisted firms like Morrison Hershfield, Davis Langdon, and Dillon Consulting to develop comprehensive estimates covering right-of-way, utility relocation, design, construction, operation, and maintenance. If you're wondering why it's called the Gordie Howe Bridge, you're not alone. Gordie Howe, known as Mr. Hockey, was a Canadian professional ice hockey player who played for the Detroit Red Wings and Hartford Whalers. Renowned for his versatility, toughness, and scoring ability, Howe held numerous records during his career. The bridge honors his legacy by connecting Detroit and Windsor, two cities deeply rooted in hockey culture, and symbolizes unity and strength. Significant progress has been made over the past few years. Towers reaching 220 meters were constructed with a service life of 125 years, a benchmark rarely seen in bridge projects. Despite concerns about climate change and sustainability, extending the bridge's service life had minimal cost implications. In July 2020, construction began on the tower footings, involving the placement of 7,600 cubic meters of concrete over 6 months. By 2021, the focus shifted to constructing the tower legs, using innovative techniques like cambered legs and temporary crossbeams to counteract gravity. By July 2021, the critical T-beam, essential for balancing horizontal forces, was installed at ground level. Lifting the first deck element on the Canadian side in March 2022 marked a major milestone, especially given the corrosive climate near Zug Island's industrial district. To combat corrosion, a durable 3-coat paint system was applied to withstand 40 years in such challenging environments. In July 2022, the first steel anchor boxes, crucial for fastening cables, were installed on the US Tower. Initially estimated at $4.4 billion, the project's cost has risen to $6.4 billion, with completion now expected in the fall of 2025, delayed from the original target of November 2024. The federal government has agreed to cover the additional $700 million and waived penalties for the extended timeline, acknowledging the challenges posed by the COVID-19 pandemic. Looking ahead, the next steps include completing the connection between the two sides of the river by installing the road deck and the 216 cable stays that will support the bridge. Project leaders are confident that they will meet the 2025 completion date. So, what are your thoughts on the Gordie Howe Mega Bridge? Let us know in the comment section below. If you liked today's content, do give us a like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.